Have you ever sat on your bed at night and asked, God, what is your will for my life? Maybe you are wondering about your career, your marriage, your ministry, or even the next step you should take. You're not alone. Millions of people have asked that same question. And today, we are going to walk together through the Bible, through stories, and through real-life lessons to discover how you can know God's will for your life. Stay with me to the end, because not only will you understand this truth, but you will also be equipped with steps to walk in it. Samuel. Let's begin with a young boy in the temple, Samuel. He was serving under Eli. One night, he heard a voice calling him, Samuel. Samuel. He ran to Eli, but Eli said, I did not call you, go back and lie down. After the third time, Eli realized it was the Lord calling. Then Samuel prayed, Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. 1 Samuel 3 verse 10. The lesson? God's will begins with a listening heart. Samuel was not yet a prophet, but he positioned himself to listen. If you want to know God's will, don't run around in confusion, quiet your heart and say, Speak, Lord. Abraham. Think of Abraham. God said, Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. Genesis 12 verse 1. Abraham did not have a full map. He didn't know the final details. But he obeyed step by step. God's will is often like headlights on a dark road. He may not show you the entire highway, but he gives you just enough light to take the next step. When Abraham obeyed, God unfolded more. So, maybe you're waiting for God to show you the entire picture. But God is saying, take the first step in faith. Joseph. Joseph's story is powerful. He dreamed of greatness, but life threw him into a pit, then slavery, then prison. Yet, every step was still within God's will. By the time Joseph stood before Pharaoh to interpret dreams, God's plan unfolded. He became a prime minister and saved nations from famine. Genesis 41. Sometimes God's will is not smooth, it includes trials. But Romans 8 verse 28 reminds us, all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. Your pit season may still be God's will, because he is shaping you for the palace. Jesus in Gethsemane. Even Jesus wrestled with God's will. In Gethsemane, he prayed, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will. Matthew 26 verse 39. The center of God's will is surrender. To know God's will is not only about hearing but about yielding. Jesus surrendered, and through the cross, salvation came to the world. God's will may not always feel easy, but it always leads to eternal fruit. So how can you know God's will today? Here are keys. 1. Pray and listen, just like Samuel. 2. Obey step by step, like Abraham. 3. Trust God in trials, like Joseph. 4. Surrender your will, like Jesus. 5. Search his word, God's will is never outside his word. My friend, God's will is not far from you. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Your life is not an accident. You may be confused, but God has a plan. If you want to know it, start by drawing near to him in prayer, in his word, and in surrender. If this message has blessed you, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who is asking, what is God's will for my life? Together, let's spread hope.